Let's also be clear. The future is not just happening. The future is built by us.
You're at an event where the leaders called the event working together to regain trust, but you're saying that trust was not lost.
The trust is never lost.
I don't know, the trust was lost.
Well, then why would you call it regain trust if it was never lost?
I didn't call it anything.
That's what Davos is calling it.
Thank you.
Why do you think the trust was lost?
I'm sorry, I'm running for a meeting. I have to apologize.
Jeremy Loffredo for Rebel News on the third day of the World Economic Forum's annual meeting in Davos, Switzerland. This week, the entire resort town of Davos has been entirely transformed into a 3D advertisement for some of the world's most nefarious corporations. Many of the corporations here progress-washing themselves played an integral role in the massive failure which is the global response to COVID-19. Facebook, or Meta, is here taking up an entire block with a museum-like interactive display of their plan for the metaverse. The big tech giant partnered with pharma-funded think tanks and fact-checkers to silence and censor all criticism of government COVID policies, which are now generally accepted as harmful or even deadly. Palantir, a controversial data mining firm, also has a giant exhibit here in Davos. Palantir has partnered with intelligence agencies all over the world, including America's CIA and NSA, which often accomplish their political and surveillance goals via extrajudicial means. The firm has garnered criticism for their predictive policing programs that aim to, quote, stop criminals before they commit crimes using advanced AI technology. The same technology is now being used to, quote, stop COVID outbreaks before they happen through a partnership with the CDC. IBM, a tech behemoth that aided Nazi Germany, is not new to controversy. IBM has recently designed the COVID vaccine passports in New York City, which is creating what some critics call a two-tiered society. Accenture, a Fortune 500 information technology company, is a founding partner of the Gates Foundation's ID 2020 project, which officially aimed to leverage COVID vaccination campaigns to achieve sprawling biometric digital identity systems. They're also a strategic partner of the World Economic Forum's platform for a good digital identity. The examples go on and on. The theme for this year's Davos meeting is working together to regain trust. The meaning here seems obvious. Do the elites understand that by locking everyone down, by taking everyone's jobs, and by mandating a dubious medical intervention, they lost people's trust?
Let's also be clear. The future is not just happening. The future is built by us, by a powerful community as you here in this room. We have the means to improve the states of the world. But two conditions are necessary. The first one is that we act all as stakeholders of larger communities, that we serve not our only self-interests, but we serve the community. That's what we call stakeholder responsibility. And second, that we collaborate.
I asked people here in Davos about this theme and why they believe trust has been lost. The answers point to an ignorance and in some cases a downright refusal to acknowledge their failure, despite the loss of trust being front and center in the very theme of this year's gathering. And why do you think trust was lost in the first place?
Was it lost?
That's what the World Economic Forum titled this year's Davos meeting, working together to regain trust. So obviously they think that trust was lost somehow. Do you think that the citizens should trust the people here down there in that building at the World Economic Forum meeting?
I think so, yeah. If we deliver the right message, yes.
So it's all about messaging. So you think that the citizens should trust the World Economic Forum?
I think so, yes.
There you have it. That's from the Gulf International Bank.
Trust is not lost.
You're at an event where the leaders called the event working together to regain trust, but you're saying that trust was not lost.
The trust is never lost.
I don't know, the trust was lost.
Well, then why would you call it regain trust if it was never lost?
I didn't call it anything.
That's what Davos is calling it.
Thank you.
Why do you think the trust was lost?
I'm sorry, I'm running for a meeting. I have to apologize.
I'm on my way to a meeting. You're on your way to a meeting. Okay. So do you think that the global population should trust the people here who are at the World Economic Forum?
Sometimes it's difficult for them to do so because they feel so far removed from the decision makers, the people who sort of move the world. Let me go back a little bit. The people in the community move the world. And there's a perception that...
Klaus Schwab did say a couple days ago that it was these people, you, that move the world.
Ooh, everyone moves the world.
So you disagree with that statement, with Klaus's statement?
No, I don't want to disagree with Klaus.
Even though that they're saying working together to regain trust, you're saying that trust was not lost?
Yeah.
Well, all the fuss caused by social media is of course one thing, I guess. I wouldn't blame social media for it. It's how people use it. But of course there could be a way to avoid the bad causes.
Trust is a very, very hard thing to earn and probably the easiest thing to lose. So before you ask people to trust, you need to prove your worth and you need to prove your value. So before that, we need something concrete coming out of Davos, something that will convince people, and that remains to be seen.
Go to WEFreports.com if you want to support the only critical and the only subversive reporting coming out of Davos, Switzerland. That's WEFreports.com.